Thanks for being here. Okay. Gonna do a heart opening practice today. You're totally gonna need either a block. If you don't have a block, it's gonna be fine. But if you have one, that would be better. If you don't have a block, go ahead and grab like a stack of books, or I've used like a beer growler or a protein powder jug, like any of those sorts of things are gonna be super helpful. My inspiration for practice this week and all of the heart opening that I'd like to work into it is I'm kind of inspired by some journaling and processing I've been doing for myself lately, and I was kind of going back and forth about this idea like, well, love is not enough. And I was looking at that more in like a romantic sense of love, but really it kind of pervades all things. Like we need many things in order to make our lives work. But then I realized like you need so much more to make bread than yeast. But if you don't have yeast, your bread is not going to be nearly as fluffy and delicious and yummy and all of that. Yeah. Like there's something special that that element can bring to our experiences. So we're gonna let our hearts expand and rise like a nice, yeasty, yummy bread. Letting love be that ingredient that it's not all of the things. It's not the only thing, but it's a pretty darn great thing. So we'll make some space for that today. Take your index finger and thumb together. Bring it to the center of your forehead. Brush outwards towards your temples a few times. And then brushing from the sides of your nose out to your temples. From your temples down to your chin, along your jawline. From the sides of your nose down to your chin, along your lap lines. And then massaging the spot underneath and behind your ears. Working upwards to the bony spot that's back behind your ears and lifting up on your spine from that point, feeling again that rising, that expansion. That'll be a big theme of our practice today in our poses. Try to keep this rise, this lift. Take a big breath in. And keep the lift if you can as you drop your hands down into your lap. Let your palms face open, your collarbones soften. Taking a few deep breaths, perhaps considering this intention. Letting this rising and expansion in our heart place serve us and benefit us, even if it isn't the only thing that we worry about. Next time you breathe in, nice and full through your nose. Big exhale through the mouth. Again, like that. For 3 ohms. We're going to start to set up on our backs, on our blocks or stack of books, whatever is going to help to elevate your chest space. And I often sit up on a pillow. If you want to squeak that underneath and bring that underneath your heart, you can do that too. That's perfectly acceptable. But if you can manage to come down onto this flat space, let it come down to where the bony points of your shoulder blades, that middle section, kind of lines up right in the middle of the flat part of your block. And if you can manage it and it feels okay, the growler, the protein powder jar can feel really nice too. So finding something to support your chest. We will do other things with this thing soon, so don't feel like if you grab the wrong thing, you're totally out of luck. You're gonna take the hands behind your head and let your head drop back. And we're gonna spend a couple of breaths like this. So you wanna come to a place where you don't feel like, oh, what is this done? Because I want to allow some time to settle in, and then, you know, if you do make bread, which I have actually never made bread from scratch, but so I hear, you have to have that time where you let the dough sit. You let the yeast start to react and the dough rises. So that's what we're doing here, letting some time open up this chest space. Let's say 5 more breaths like this, really working on letting yourself fall into the things that support you, the floor, your hands, whatever object, something like a block that's underneath your hands. About 1 more big breath in. Softening as you exhale. And then with your hands behind your head, you're going to lift your head up. You can pick yourself up off of your block. And then if your thing is heavy, like if it's a stack of books, I want you to make Charlie's Angels fingers. Yes, so you're going to make your fingers use this. Fingers clean out. Or if it's light, grab the block. So just be slightly different in your shoulders. You're going to take your light object or your Charlie's Angels hands up above your face, and then around your belly and towards your spine. As you inhale, reach that block or your hands back behind you. So don't worry about getting to the floor. Try to get to the wall back there. And then exhale, bring the hands back up above your feet. Inhale, reach it back. Exhale, taking it back up. Remember, keeping that belly knitted inward. Do 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. So not to the floor, to the wall. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more like this. Breathe in. Bring it down, hands come back up. And then we're going to do that a second round of 5. Then you can use your feet on the floor. If you want to amp things up a little bit, you bring your shins parallel with the ceiling and magnetize your thighs together. Let's go again. Inhale, reach those hands back. Exhale, hands come back up. Inhale, reach. Exhale, back up. 3 more on your own. Keep that belly knitted inwards. Moving only the hands. And then release your legs. Go ahead and set that block off to your side. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug. And then one more thing on our backs. Go ahead and set your feet down. You're going to slide your right foot inside this little cave that your left leg needs, right? And then you want to have the knee down. So in order to do that, you can lift your left hip up. But if you can get the hip down, great. If you can push the knee a little closer to your foot, great. You can either catch the ankle with your left ankle or you can use your left hand. One more ingredient is to perhaps put the hand behind the head. Maybe wiggle your right elbow over towards the right. So you're going to do a really big side body stretch and a side stretch. More breaths like this. Go ahead and release the right arm. You're going to release your right leg. And then slide that left foot underneath your hip and foot area. You have to roll over the hip line, but try to bring them down if you can. Maybe the knee goes closer to the foot. Maybe the left arm goes behind the head. Maybe the left elbow goes more over towards that right side. Kind of breathing in this weird little knot you tied with yourself. One more breath in. Big breath out. Unwind this arm. You're gonna unwind the bottom leg. Your chest, rock yourself up to a seat. Go ahead and check your system and see if you're on mute, friends, to make sure that there's not a rustle and such. We'll work through a few cat and cow here. So once you get up onto your hands and knees, inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, tuck the tail around your spine. Do a few on your own. Expanding in whatever ways make sense to you. You can always go side to side. Change this up, maybe take some circular motion. Let's take 3 more breaths. If you need to even yourself out, do that. And when you're ready, come back towards a more neutral spine. You're gonna walk your knees back a little bit and then lean your heart forward so it's above your thumbs. You can reach your collarbones a little bit more open and keep them open as you lower as slow as you can down onto your belly. Maybe slower, maybe not as slow. And then we'll get your legs back a little bit more. Roll those collarbones open again, come up cobra pose. Stay here for a breath in. And exhale, lower down. Come on your elbows. You're gonna stack up in Sphinx pose. Summon your right heel up towards your thumb and then look over your right shoulder. See if you can grab onto it with your right hand. Just take a moment to pull this heel in towards your bum as best you're able to. And then we're gonna change this action a little bit. You're gonna push the foot back so it lifts and opens your heart a little bit more. Take breath in. Exhale, soften, release that foot, push to the other side. Bend into your left leg, summon it, reach back, grab it if you like. See if you can pull that heel in just as close as it's gonna get to your bum. Then changing that energy up a little bit, you're gonna push the foot back, which is gonna help to expand the heart forward. Lift it up a little bit, breathe in. Exhale, soften gently, release that leg. Come on down and slide those hands in by your lower ribs again. Let's come up again into cobra pose. Stay there for the exhale. Maybe you inhale, open up a little bit more. Exhale, lower down. Press yourself up and back into downward facing dog. Spread out those fingers and lift your hips up. Wiggle around, do all the things that help your dog to feel a little bit more open. Maybe bounce the heels, shake your head around, wiggle your lips. Inhale, taking your right leg up, you're going to bend into the knee, open up your hips so your right knee is the highest thing on you. Try to relax your left heel and push down from your armpits into both of your hands. Take a big breath in. Breathe out. Look forward. You're going to try to get your right foot outside of your right hand and then set your left knee down. So if it was like back here, you just push it up, yeah? I'll show from the front. You're going to turn the knee and the toe out and then lean the hips and the heart forward. Try to lift your heart up. You might grab a block or whatever you had and put it underneath your hands here, just kind of giving yourself that space. Big breath in. And then go ahead and pull those hips back. We're gonna come back to having the toes facing forward. Hands up on your front thigh. You're gonna lean forward as much as you can in your hip. It's okay if the knee comes in front of your ankle as long as it A, does not hurt, and B, you have the back knee on the ground. This is apparently A and B. Feel your heart lifting up, breathe in. Exhale. And then you're going to take the hands down. You're going to walk over to your left side. Turn your left toes behind you. Walk all the way to the back of your mat space. Lift this right arm up. I'm not mirroring you. You might summon this foot up, reach back, see if you can grab onto it. And then push the foot back, feeling your heart opening out and forward. There's that foot going back that creates this expansive space in the body. Exhale. Release the foot. And then you can stay over here towards the back of your mat, or you can walk yourself back in the other direction if you're in a funky place in space. You're gonna walk your knees back a little bit and then see if you can keep your chest open as you slowly lower down onto your belly. And then wiggle those legs back a little bit more. Let's come up again, cobra pose, breathe in. Stay there, exhale, soften. Inhale, summon your legs up off of the floor. Maybe your heart goes higher. And exhale, soften again. Let's push all the way up and back into downward facing dog. Heart down into your hands, heels relaxed. Let your head go. I promise it won't fall off. Although I'm sure mine would go missing if it were not firmly attached. And then you're gonna take your left leg, you're gonna reach it way high up in the sky. Bend your knees so your hips are open. The foot relaxes towards your hip. The knee reaches up, the right heel drops down. Both arms press down, find length in your spine. Breathe in. Exhale, look forward. Left foot outside of your left hand, and then lower your right knee down. Turn the left knee and toe out, and then you want to send your hips forward and your heart up. And again, if you feel like the floor is a long ways away and you want your arms to be longer, you have a block or the dog underneath your hands. Mine only likes to participate in Shavasana and laying down poses. One more inhale. Exhale, pull those hips back a bit. We're gonna line up that left knee and toe facing forward, and then take your hands up on your thigh. So really gonna let the hips rest forward here. You still do want to push down in the front foot, but think of this forward motion in your hip. And then the lifting up and out of your heart. Maybe wiggle your jaw around a little bit to see if you can relax your throat and chest. Okay, breath in. Exhale. And then you're going to take your hands down. You're going to turn the right toes behind you, walk all the way over towards that right side of your mat. We're going to lift up. We've got this side plank variation, and we're going to take it into a Shavasana variation. We're going to do this standing a little bit today. So when you go into the standing shape, this is the kind of openness that you want. It's going to be your leg down, and then your hand down on your block, your top, what have you, or picking it. You don't want to spend a long time there, so you can always just find the not connected version. Maybe this open space. Go ahead and release that back down in the table pose. From table pose, we're gonna slide the right leg back. Put them strong from your armpits and your hands. And the left leg slides back in your plank and top. Now you can lower your knees, of course, first, or you can come forward, go either all the way to your belly, or just into chaturanga halfway, and then cobra or up dog. Let your heart expand forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Push into those index fingers. Big breath in. Big breath out. And look forward. Bring your feet up to your hands. Forward fold. Big breath in. Big breath out. Halfway up, leaning with the heart. Bring your fingertips up as high as you need. On your next exhale, soften it down again. Inhale all the way up. Reach the hips. Exhale, give your heart. We're going to start to build our flow now. We're actually going to start from that Shavasana place because it's like really weird to get into. So bring something out in front of you. We're actually going to bring it kind of in front of your right foot. So you can bring this up higher. You can grab like two of them and make a fort. What you're gonna do is you're gonna open up into half moon. You're gonna bend into this left leg, and what we often need to do is to kind of turn inwards here to catch onto that foot. But then once you can, you're gonna open it back, and don't worry, we won't usually hold this very long. Just give yourself a chance for the heart to open. And then expand, and you're gonna leave your block behind and step back to warrior two. It'll just be that opening space every time you go there. Like, I don't really want to hold the bind. Cool. Do half moon. You can expand and let yourself rise out into space in half moon. Let's go peaceful warrior from here. Feeling the heart reaching up towards your hand. And then exhale, you're gonna windmill the hands down. You're gonna step back to plank pose from here. And then you can go straight to downward dog or go down through chaturanga. Exhale, inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward dog. And then we're gonna take that right leg up in the air. Bend into the knee, open your hip. You can stay here. We'll have a little bit of a pause here, feeling the front of the hip opening up. You've also got an option where maybe you just soften the knee down, the foot down, and come into wild thing, or you decide to skip it or go to child's pose. And then we'll come back into that scorpion dog. Leg is lifted. Look forward, step the right foot up to where your right hand was. And we'll lift the arms up, high lunge. So I've got that back heel still up in the air. Feel your heart extend upwards. And then you're gonna take your hands down, little standing splits. Don't worry about how high the left leg gets up. You're just doing a little right handing stretch. And then 2 feet down, forward fold, bob your head around. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale, fold it down. All the way up, breathe in. Exhale, here. That was a lot. Let's do it on the other side. I'm gonna give a little bit of time to try to get into this, especially the first time, but if you get in there and you're ready then to expand out and go into warrior 2 when you're done, just come back. You're gonna move the block over, whatever you happen to be, you're gonna move in front of your left foot. You're gonna open up towards half moon, maybe you summon the foot, and then you're gonna push the foot back, keep lifting up and out of your left thigh in order to stay vertical or whatever the heck this is. Take a breath in. Expand the heart, release, warrior 2, and then we'll all meet there. You'll find that space will come out of it. Like, okay, warrior 2, good. Exhale, inhale, peaceful warrior. Feel this thigh pulling back, the heart pulls up. It's not about dropping your head back to your heel. From peaceful warrior, windmill the hands down or don't, whatever, it's just fancy. Step back plank pose. Downward dog or exhale to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. And the left leg is gonna lift up. Push strong into both hands. We're gonna bend. This is our scorpion tail, down dog. Stay here, or you come down, or you bring the foot down. Come into wild thing. I'm really pushing the floor away here. From here, we'll go back. The scorpion dog, and come forward with the left foot. Right heel, oh no, the right heel stays up. I'm in! High lunge. Inhale, feel that heart expand upwards. Exhale, the hands will come down. You're gonna stand up on that left leg. Just lift the right leg however much it will. And then 2 feet down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, soften it down. All the way up, breathe in. Exhale, move with your heart. We're gonna try to take that into a little bit more of a flow. I know flip the dog can be kind of scary and moving foot down the wall there. But just do what you can. You can do it on your knees. If you do it from plank pose instead of down dog, so if you just do it from here, that is so much less terrifying than just knowing that that's something you might want to do. So block in front of your right foot. Vaguely fancy beginning, but do what we can with it. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, come down. Summon that left leg up. So on your own breath here, try to find half moon or the Shavasana variation. Expand with an inhale. And exhale, warrior 2. Pick up whenever you're ready. Inhale into peaceful warrior. Exhale, hands come down. You can put an extra breath in it or go straight to chaturanga or down dog. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Big breath in, big loud sigh. And then you can do this from your knees. Inhale, reach the right leg up, bend into the knee, open the hip. Wild thing or not, feel yourself expanding into space. And then we'll meet back in three-legged dog or scorpion dog and swing the right leg through to the right foot. Taking the body up, zip those inner thighs, reach your heart up to your fingertips. Exhale, hands down, left leg up, just for a moment. Set the left foot down. On your next inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms come all the way up. Exhale, hands at the heart. Now as you get in, you're just going to move the block over. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, come on down, set yourself up. Use your own breath here, but try to keep it moving, coming into that Shavasana. Find that expansive space in your heart where your heart reaches forward, lift out of that leg, and then release the leg. Come back, warrior two. So you catch up when you can. Inhale, peaceful. Exhale, hands come down. You can put an extra breath in to get a chaturanga. Remember, you can skip them. You're at home, do you. Get in a studio full of people. Do what makes sense for you. Inhale, lift the left leg up, bend into the knee. If you're going into wild thing, try to keep those hips up. Push the floor away, feel your heart open up. And we'll go back to that three-legged dog. Look forward, left foot up to the left. Push strong in both feet, reach the arms up, feel your heart expanding upwards. Exhale, standing splits. Stay there, inhale. Exhale, both feet come down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, soften. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands at the heart. Let's go again. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, coming up into Vinyasa. Take another couple of breaths here. See if you can lift out of that standing leg. Open the chest. When you're ready, warrior two. Your inhale comes up. Peaceful. Exhale, windmill it down, skipping any or all of these chaturangas. Hands still open. Exhale, press it back. Inhale, lift the right leg. Bend into the knees. And the foot just gets so heavy to dress down, but everything else is light. And then back to three-legged dog. Look forward. High lunge. Set the foot forward. Inhale. Reach the arms up. Exhale. Coming up to stand on that right leg. Inhale there. Exhale. Step the left leg down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, hold. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands at the heart. Left side, inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold. Start to set up your back bendy business here. Try to open the chest. Just not trying to find it, maybe enjoy it, not too much to torture yourself. Come back to warrior two. Inhale, peaceful. Exhale, take it down and back. On the child's pose or off of your hands if you need to. I'll meet you in downward dog. Stay here, breathe in. Big loud sigh. Left leg lift. Bend into the knee. Drop that foot down, keep pushing the hips up high. Inhale. Exhale. Drop the foot forward. Inhale. High lunge, reach. Exhale, standing splits. Inhale. And exhale, set the foot down. Halfway up, breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, all the way up, arms lift. Hands back at your heart. I'm going to take a quick pause. We're going to take the flow one more time. I'm going to try 2 more things just to kind of like experiment with that kind of action. A little bit easier to do dancer's pose than it is to do chaturangas because chaturangas has that movement in the hips. And dancer's pose is a little bit more of that where you're like tracking in the hips. So think of lifting your inner thighs as you're going to dancer's pose. You start off standing on your right leg. You're going to summon the inside of your left foot. If I hold it here, sometimes something goes out. I'm going to summon the inside so I can keep doing that inner thigh lift. You get up on top of your right thigh as much on top as possible. Push your foot back. Feel your heart reach forward. Woo! Maybe get a little bit more. And then come on up. Put your foot down. Wiggle things out. I'll go into the other side. Push the inside of your foot. Put up on top of that thigh bone as much as you can. Push the foot back. Send the heart forward. Keep lifting both of your thighs. You're gonna let one open up. That's why it's so hard to be in Shavasana. But this helps us to find that lift on top of the leg. Heart goes forward. Inhale. Exhale. Release. This next one, fairly unsatisfying, but it's a good way to get the stretch in the thigh and also kind of find your balance on your foot. We're going to go into a forward fold. We're going to try to keep the weight in your feet and not in your hands. Of course, move and squat. In fact, I will. Why not? I'm here. So I'm going to start off standing on the right leg. I'm going to summon the left heel up towards my bum. I'm going to try not to sit in the right leg. I want to get up with the weight on my toes as much as possible. Don't lift the heels, but send the weight there. And then the right hand's going to reach back. And if you can't find it with your hand, oh, try to find it with your eyeballs. That helps so much. Your eyeballs are so much better at finding things than your hands are. And then you're going to try to send the foot up in the heart. It's so unsatisfying, isn't it? And then set it down. Some things are just unsatisfying. You have those days, those people, what have you. Let's just do the other side and get onto the satisfying, fun stuff, or at least one step closer to Shavasana. Or you're gonna, if you can't find it with your, oh my gosh, the eyeballs are so much better at finding things. Oh my goodness. Maybe you push that foot up and back and your arm forward. Oh, Amy, hello. Forward fold. Whoa. Bend your knees. Up your elbows. Rag down a bit. Release your arms, roll it up. Yeah. We're going to go through once more. Put around as if you want them. I'll say meet me in downward dog. We'll start off in Shavasana. So maybe try to start to do this once more. And your next inhale, you just go down all the way up. Exhale, fold it in. Inhale, and up. Finding the confidence. Get all on top of that right leg. Feel that foot perfect. Isn't it so much more satisfying than that foldy thing did? As long as you want. Oh, there's the spot. Here too. On your next breath in, keep full and feel all the way up. And then I'll meet you in downward dog. Another drink. Big breath in. Big sigh. Right leg lifts. You can get a really yummy calf stretch by just leaving your left heel, relaxing that core, flipping the dog, really expanding up into the sky, reach your And then the three-legged or scorpion dog. Lining that right foot forward to your right hand. Two strong feet, lifting your thighs, but not your hips. Reach those arms up. Little add-on. Exhale. Reach your arms back like airplane wings. Big breath in. And then swoop it down. Bring the skinny splits just to loose your knees here. And then both feet down. Hold. Inhaling halfway up, lead with the heart. Exhale down. All the way up, breathe in. Hands at the heart, breathe out. For a full round of breath. Inhale, take it back up. Exhale, fold, left side, left side. We're going to come up into more Shavasana. Back planted from the floor. Standing out in every direction. Fabulous. Standing, dropping back down. Nice and warrior two. Beautiful. And get in there. And then inhale. Up all the way up. Peaceful warrior. Lift that heart right up to your fingertips. And come back from here. Downward facing dog. And for Vinyasa. Second last here. Bad. No, maybe third. Okay. You don't have to do any of them, right? Keep your left leg up, bend into it. Like, where are we going from here? You made them up. Come to the wild thing. If that's where you're going, expand, reach. And then come back, three-legged. And bring your foot forward. Lift those inner thighs. Come up. And we're going to lift the heart up higher. And then scoop those arms back. Airplane wings just to be even more expansive. Big breath in. Exhale, hands come down. Last standing. And then squeeze down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we're going to soften down again and then wiggle your feet wider and come down into a squat. Now, if you would like not to be in a squat because of your hips, put your thumb down. So we're good. You can be up here or you want to sit a block underneath your hips, go for it. Elbows sitting head to the thighs. You have to wiggle your heels a little bit to find the place where the heels drop down. I'm just here for one more breath in. Exhale. And hands down. I find I need to lift my heels slightly to come back up to a forward fold. I'm going to inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, back to downward dog. Moving through a vinyasa if you choose. Big breath in. Big breath out. I'm going to take the right leg up. This time bring it through the pigeon. So knee up to your foot, knee to your hand, foot in front of your head. You could stay here. Maybe wiggle the leg back. Thumb in the back foot. It is feasible for some of us, and this is my wonky legs. It's a little harder for me to turn my elbow and then turn my chest forward. But this is an option. And if you feel good about your balance, both hands together is an option. It's also a good opportunity to pick something underneath your hip. You don't feel like you're going to fall over and you're like, it moves. My foot is back there. And I don't even care anymore because I'm already sweating. This has been ridiculous. Good, you're here. Okay? Always just knowing there's like my teachers made a bus stop analogy quite some time ago. Like, you know, if we're all going to different places, like some of us to Fred Meyer, some of us home from work, whatever, we're all on a bus, and we all get off at somebody's bus stop that's not our bus stop, we're going to end up late to work, not getting our groceries, in a bad neighborhood, not making it home on time. You got to get off at your own bus stop. So you have the back leg and the bend. You can soften forward just for a bit because it's really yummy. Nothing right or wrong about going to any of the places that we go to, right? It's just like if that's not the time for you to go there, that's not the time for you to go there. If you have that block under your hip, start to bring yourself up. You're gonna step back. Now you can stay in down dog for a bit and wiggle it out, or you can go through another chaturanga and up dog, and that's all up to you. I'm gonna just kind of be here bouncing, feeling the bounce. I'm taking the left leg up when you're ready, coming through. Pigeon, block underneath your hip if you'd like. Maybe coming down and forward. Maybe you wiggle the leg back so you have a little bit more split between the legs with thumb in the back leg. Good. In the work, like I'm really open on my left side because my knee's a little wonky. But since I can get my elbow into the foot of the crook of the elbow a little bit more, it's a little easy to turn the chest forward. A little bit. It's like really stinking hard. Maybe your hands find each other. Maybe you're like, man, that is not the yoga I signed up for today. I hope that you are doing right now whatever the yoga is that you signed up for today, because you came here to feel good, not to feel weird about whether or not training yourself into a knot is feasible or interesting or pleasant. You're here to breathe. Any of those spines and madness, go ahead and come forward. Try to soften something on your next exhale. You're going to bring yourself back up. You're going to come back to downward dog. If you would like to clear it out with a vinyasa, I kind of like that after imbalanced shapes. Don't if you don't want to. And knees down. Putting your knees towards each other, reaching arms back, kind of curling inwards in this child's pose. But if you need your knees separate, we're gonna have your arms in a different place. Honor that, so you can maybe, pop your head up with your hand, whatever you need. One more round of breath. And bring your hands in. Start to stick yourself up. And stick the legs out and out. Then take your right leg. Put it on the outside of your foot. Hug it with your elbow. Right hand is really close to your head. Try to keep the left toes lifted. It's going to help to instigate your spine lifted up. And then rotate over towards the right. Pulling this leg in so that you stretch the outer thigh here. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, soften the belly. Start to release your foot. You're going to take this foot, you can take it into a reclined pigeon if this next thing doesn't work for your hip. But if you can bring your heel in really close to your hip, I'm on the pinky toe edge of the foot. I'm going to come forward and then have an experience in my left hamstring. If you're like, well, I don't really feel it as much in my right hip, you may or may not, but you're probably going to feel this hamstring situation. Get as much as you want of either. Thinking, anytime you fold, thinking like expansive and wide in the lower back. Kind of like your kidneys just start to relax and drift away from each other. One more breath in. Yeah. And starting to walk it off. We'll unwind that right leg. Then take the left leg up and looking it across, lifting your right toes. Left hand in nice and close, just hold on to the side, get up taller every time you breathe in. Soften the belly and the twist every time you breathe out. Notice what might be tense or short. Seeing if you can let it be a little bit more soft and fluffy and expansive. Probably not you hear from somebody wearing a Megadeth shirt every day, but whatever, we're crushing stereotypes out there. Big breath in. Take for your exhale. Relax your chest. No, thank you, good job. Tuck your foot up by your hip. I know, the Vinyasa. That means no more. Hey. And then coming forward for your hammy and or your hip. Check it out. Just sit down. Take a few more breaths. Start to come on up. We're going to unwind both legs, taking the full together, and then coming forward, long spine. So it doesn't have to be totally straight. Try not to crouch. You want to come forward as long and as soft over your legs as possible. So again, thinking of this lower back space getting expansive. And then move outwards to the side. There we go. Big breath in. Big breath out. We're going to take camel pose, half on each side. So we can really expand outwards in the space. If you need to pad up your knees, go ahead and do that. What you can also do is kind of like the block down is a little bit higher than your floor. So you're going to curl your toes under. Put your hands in the back pockets of your imaginary high-waisted jeans, and then feel the front hip crease open as you send those hips forward. Lift your heart up. You're going to look back over one shoulder, keep your healer to a block, keep pushing the hips forward, reaching the heart up. Maybe you look up, maybe you look back to your heel. One of those is going to feel much better for your neck. Honor that. Expand outwards, breathe in. And then draw the belly in, back to center. We'll take this little lift up and forward in the hips to cue that to be the place we return to after reaching back for the other heel. A little bit more, the hips forward, the heart up, the arm up, the head looks up, or back to your back heel. Good. One more big breath in. Draw the belly in, come back to center, untuck your toes. You're going to sit your hips back to your heels. If that's not super comfy, swing the legs out in front or slide a block in between your heels so you just have a little extra support. Your palms face up, resting back a little bit. So I'm not crouching, just come from like, this an angsty forward place just into this moment. Not seeking and reaching out quite so much. We can expand outwards into anything, but still be here in this more balanced place in the spine. Big breath in. Big breath out. Got your eyes closed, blink them open. We're going to come down onto our backs. Have handy whatever you're going to need for Shavasana, and also your object, your stack of books, or maybe you go back to the cushiony thing. Might feel a little bit better here. We're going to come down and we're going to come into bridge pose, but it's going to be a supported bridge pose. So tuck the heels in by your hips. And then I'm going to go say lowest setting is probably going to be the best, or you're going to want to move there later. Push into the feet. You want to get this block or stack of books or what have you underneath the flat part of your sacrum, like the flat part of your lower back. For me, that goes about 2.5 inches, I think, into the squishy part of my bum. And it's a good 3 inches below my waist, but I'm like really tall, so it might be like 1.5 or 2 inches below your waist or so. Just kind of acknowledging that you may have to do a little wiggling around the golden rule of prop usage. If it feels like it's in the wrong place, you are probably correct and you should move it. It shouldn't feel like anything's pinching. It shouldn't feel like your hips are going to fall off or your waist is lifting up above this block line. You just feel like you've got a good hearty volume of a book on top of a good thick sturdy shelf. And letting this be a bit of an inversion. You've got your hips above your heart, kind of above your head. You also have the option, if it feels good, and you might have to wiggle your block around once you get the legs up and you kind of find out here. I'm just barely in the right place, so I'll stick with it. But you take the feet down, you move the block, take the legs back up. And if you hate this, or if it feels like you're going to fall off, don't worry about it. Put your feet back down. There's many, many options. I made an Instagram post the other day about seeing drawbridges in Portland where they rise up and it's like the road you're used to going in, like, you know, flat-ish. It's just like, oh, I'm gonna lift up into the sky and end in midair, and it's like disorienting, right? But it makes you pause, be here, hopefully take a couple of deep breaths and reconsider your timing. And that's kind of what an inversion does. It just takes what is normally in a different way and kind of upends us so that we end up in the air. It brings us into this moment. Feeling ready, start to drop the feet down. Once the feet are down, push into them a little bit so you can lift the hips up. You're going to take that block out and away and bring your knee to your chest. Give yourself a hug. And open your arms and let your knees roll over towards the right. Take as deep of a twist as you want. So if you wanted to twist your legs up more, you could. If you wanted to move your legs away from you a little bit more, you could. Be mindful, sometimes in back bends we can do a little bit of shortening and tightening in our back. So just give yourself the space to move. 2 more breaths. Ready to work your legs over towards the other side. Last breath here, big breath in. Big breath out. And then coming back to your back, finding the center, maybe let the knees knock against each other with legs bent for a moment. Knowing that you can stay here or take a seated meditation, maybe arms by your sides, shoulders snuggled under your back, perhaps your legs extend and the feet flop open. Allowing yourself to settle into the body, to be held here. To allow yourself to be soft. Rest very well. Start to come back to your body. Maybe following any desire to make some small wiggles that help you to wake up. Reaching your arms back overhead. Good morning stretch. Even at this point, giving yourself an opportunity to restart and reinvigorate. And curling yourself to one side, turning inwards for a moment of gratitude for this practice and this time to share together. Working your way up into your own version of a comfortable seat. Sealing the practice with an Om. Big breath in. Bowing down to the love inside of our hearts, the light and the darkness within each of us. Namaste. Thanks so much, friends.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Pets for Jezzy. That was a really good class. I like the challenge of the balances.
Cool, good. I was like, oh, it must be kind of crazy, but we'll see.
Oh no, I totally fell over like 4 times, but okay. It's good.
Good. I fall over all the time.
That's okay.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's what we're here for.
Hi.
Take care.
You too.
Bye.